Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat.
Time to go get your loved one some e-bike tat.
Now it needn't be tat, it can actually be some really good practical items that your loved ones are really going to use and treasure for years to come. So starting off with stocking fillers up to £30. And talking about stockings, why not have stockings? A good pair of wool socks. Lots of brands do them, Pearl Izumi, Go, Defeat. And I've got myself here a pair of Castelli Primalofts.
Mature cheddar flavour, I reckon, Steve.
But what they do, good pair of socks, they keep your feet warm when wet and also keep them cool when it's hot.
An essential bit of kit for me for winter is a mud guard. Obviously you can get these in front and rear, keeping the bike nice and clean and you clean as well. You get all that mud flying up in your face. My favourite ones are the motorbike style, big front wheel ones that cover even the motor slot from firing up. The rear one protects that bike a little bit more. Really good way of keeping dry and warm out on the trails.
Yeah, and talking about keeping warm, how about keeping your battery warm on your e-bike? It's particularly true when you're charging your battery up, when you're keeping it cold in the garage. Nice battery cover to keep it warm.
Yeah, keeping on top of that e-bike maintenance is really key as well. Park do an excellent book called the Big Blue Book of Bicycle Maintenance. This has got everything you need to know about keeping your e-bike in top condition over winter.
Yeah, and talking about keeping in top condition, Chris, what about Strava Premium?
Oh, that would be a gift.
Just to keep track of your activities during the year.
Yeah, one of the best upgrades you can do on your e-bike is going tubeless. Literally all the best top line e-bikes are tubeless ready, so all you need to do is add a little bit of sealant. Well, obviously whip out those tubes first, add a little bit of sealant, add a tubeless valve, and you're all set, ready to hit the trails.
That's a top one. I really like that.
Definitely.
I really like that one a lot. Also, when you're talking about looking after our bikes and each other, nothing better than, especially in the dark winter months, some USB lights front and rear, particularly when you do those transfers during the road, and you can stick them in your pocket.
Yep.
They're a really simple and easy present to get.
Talking of hitting the road, when you're transporting that e-bike, when you're whipping that battery out, it's really important to keep that terminals and the contact points all clean on your e-bike. So a little battery terminal cover is a really good bit of kit to add to that stocking.
And talking about kit, a puncture kit. Really simple, but you know what? I would never leave home without a puncture kit.
And one of the bits of kit I never leave home without is the tripod. I love shooting myself out on the trails, not with a gun, but obviously with a camera. If taking stuff for Instagram, stuff for the bike vault, a mini tripod is something you should be adding to your backpack kit.
And finally, the stocking filler of stocking fillers has to be the multi-tool. I mean, that is the ultimate. I mean, you get a good one of them and they're worth their weight in gold. But it doesn't actually have to be a multi-tool. It can actually be a good set of Allen keys. Do you know what? I mean, that, for me, that's one of the top.
No more rounded out bolts.
Top stocking filler tip from us.
Decent set.
Decent set of Allen keys. So what about if you're feeling super flush this Christmas? Maybe one or too many tipples too many down the local, or indeed if you're feeling super generous. Well, these are our presents from £25 to £75. And I think I'll start off with no better present than contact points of the bike. We're talking grips, seat and pedals here. Now, you can get a variety of e-bike seats. You can get e-bike specific seats, you can get men's, you can get women's. Grips, these come in all shapes and sizes. You get wide ones, skinny ones, orange ones, blue ones, pink ones, ones for different climates even. And of course, the pedal. You can have flat pedals, you can have clip pedals, they can be wide, they can be narrow, or they can be any colour you want.
Let's talk about contact points when you hit the ground as well, always worth protecting those. Starting off with a decent set of riding gloves, nice full finger set of gloves, going to keep your hands nice and warm over winter. Not forgetting those first points of contact too when you hit the ground, your elbows and your knees. A decent set of knee pads or elbow pads going to help loads out on those big crashes. And the other one is a decent set of riding shoes as well. Obviously a decent flat pedal riding shoes, going to give you a lot more grip in winter, a lot more stiffer sole, things like that. So good riding sole is an essential bit of kit too.
What about a riding pack, Chris?
Riding pack, yeah, of course, Steve. Riding pack, when it comes to e-bike, you want to try and get one with a decent bladder in there. Just try and make sure there's room for a battery, and if you are carrying a spare battery, just make sure you've got a spine protector fitted to that backpack too. Yeah. Crashing with a battery in your backpack is not good.
Yeah. On the subject of the tools, did you see that 1UP EDC tool steer, which goes into the steer?
Slides it in, every bit of kit in there.
Really nice bit of kit that.
Definitely, I'd love one of those for Christmas.
Yeah. What did you have for Christmas last year? Why don't you ask me what I had for Christmas? Obviously, he's embarrassed. Well, I actually had a extension lead for Christmas last year.
Did it?
That means I can charge my e-bike in my van, or I can run a pressure washer over it. Really good bit of kit, an extension lead.
Must for every e-biker.
So what did you have for Christmas?
Never you mind. So for that e-bike enthusiast in your life, they're obviously going to be watching EMBN, but we've also got the EMBN shop too, which is full of jerseys, race shirts, t-shirts, beanies, jackets, you name it, it's in the EMBN shop.
Yeah, absolutely. But you know what? Christmas wouldn't be Christmas without some rubber. I'm talking some exclusive rubber here. PVC suits, face masks, and of course, tyres. Now, any e-biker is going to absolutely be over the moon with a new set of rubber on their bike, because e-bikes get a lot of use, a lot of wear, but it's a really critical part of the bike,
Definitely
right?
That rear tyre, yeah, delivering all that drive and the power. If you haven't got good rubber, you're going to be wheel spinning and slipping around everywhere.
But I'm not just talking about tyres here when I'm talking about rubber. I think Wellington boots are a really, really good product to use on an e-bike. They keep your feet dry, they keep your feet warm, and because of that cushioned sole, you can look at Michelin soles, you can look at Dunlop soles. They actually provide the ultimate in super tacky footwear for your e-bike. So yeah, check those out.
I think Steve will be hitting the trails in his wellies, where I'm going to opt, I think, for the overshoes. Something that's just a nice neoprene boot that slides over your regular riding shoe. Even those flat pedal levers, there's an overshoe for you guys as well from likes of Endura. Do a nice slip-on thing that goes over your shoe, provides you with dry feet all winter. Obviously, there's the winter boots out there and waterproof shoes for clipless shoes as well. So it's a nice little gift too.
Yeah, clothing. Clothing's always good for Christmas, right?
Yeah.
You're talking pants and knickers.
Socks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not so socks. I'm talking some,
usual Christmas stuff.
Some really nice exclusive underwear. And no mountain biker would be worth their weight without a good liner. Now, liners are what mountain bikers use rather than knickers or pants. And I can tell you that these ones on the GCN from ASOS, they are absolutely primo liners. But what is the ultimate e-bike present? It's got to be a kid's e-bike,
Oh
right?
yeah, for sure. Buying your kids one of those e-bikes, yeah. A high bike, do the S-Duro Hard 4. Looks a really nice bike, you know, good value for money. 24-inch wheels, obviously a really good way of getting those kids into the
But
e-bikes.
what about if you're younger than that? You know, maybe if you're 4 or 5. Have you checked out those Stay Sick little,
oh, they do look cool,
little
yeah.
balance bikes?
Yeah.
Amazing.
They look really cool. Yeah.
But Chris,
Right.
got to be the ultimate grown-up. And we're not talking PVC suits here. It's got to be a spare battery, right?
Yeah, definitely. Double
spare
that fun.
battery. I mean, they're £300 up to £700, but your partner is going to be blown away by the increased range.
The ultimate gift, definitely.
Ultimate gift.
I think they'd definitely be blown away as well by adding a GoPro to that list. There's lots of different models available, all the way up from the cheaper action camera stuff you see it like Argos, things like that, starting from about 40 quid, obviously, all the way up to GoPro 7, which is about, I can't remember, £400 or £500, something like that, but a real nice bit of kit.
And also to keep a track of what you've been doing, a Garmin, you know, you can measure your heart rate, you can measure your range, you can do everything like that. Really good bit of kit.
Decent smartwatch as well that can connect to your phone. Obviously shows you all your messages, your missed calls, and obviously that all important Strava too.
And do you know what I miss? Is actually having the tools back home to maintain my bike. Check out this Park Tools Ultimate Workshop tool.
Looks amazing.
Yeah.
So what would be your ultimate gift, Steve, if you had that one Christmas wish? What would you go for?
Oh, that's so easy. It's all about lube. I'd love to get some lube for Christmas. I'm talking beer, wine, wet and dry lube for my e-bike.
Lubing your throat, you mean? More than
well, lubing my throat, lubing the bike.
Yeah, and I think my one would probably be the cable cam. I'm loving the look of all these videos that you see. But you can get that cheap cable cam kit, mount on your GoPro on a little motorised crate that you and your mate can make those top quality movies with. Yeah.
So there you are. If you're out and about and you're eager to buy your friends or your partner some gifts, that is our top tips from us.
Yeah, if you've enjoyed today's video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up.
There's not going to be time for thumbs up. You need to get out there shopping.
Drop some comments in the box below. And
no time for comments either. You need to get out of the door.
And don't forget to subscribe to EMBN.